Hello everyone. How's everyone doing today? What are we gonna listen to today? Also, Yumi, I had to check which stinger I was using, because for a second I was like, wait, am I still using Yumi's stinger? Because I was testing it out. That would have been really awkward.
Sloppy.
Kazu, thank you so much for the resub. You've been putting up with my bullshit for 16 months already. That's crazy. Hi Tokens, hi Greasy, welcome in. Hello. Yumi, thank you so much for the stream today. I actually really needed that. Stealing my assets, yeah. My bad, I'm a thief. I'm a dirty thief. But hello Yumi and Greasy and Tokens. Hi Rhea. I hope you're doing well. And Kazu and Bogus. Hi Bogus. And I saw Ellie as well. Hello. Also Ellie made me realize that I should probably change the fishing stuff. Hi Floresta, how are you? It's good to see you again. Guys, what kind of music are we gonna listen to today? Let's see. I have this new playlist called Top 100 Anime Openings. Miku? Do I have a Miku thing on? Hold on. Let's see what Spotify has for me. Ooh. Wait. Let's see. No. That's the wrong Miku. Ah, shit, I wanted to... Okay, yeah, Shit, I actually wanted to turn off the friend cuddles today, but I guess we're doing it now. We're doing it now, guys. Hold on. Hold on. That's also not Miku. Hello? Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Hi Sable, how are you? It's a pleasure to be here again. It's a pleasure to see you again, Floresta. Yeah, I guess that works for now. Where is my friends folder? Hold on. Is this music? No, okay. Okay, this VOD is not gonna be quiet again. Like last time, like I was a fucking idiot. Hi Ash, oh my god guys, it's my Oshi. Who's mom? You know, any mom is welcome to have her tits played with on this stream. But hello, welcome in. Oh my god, I'm not your Oshi, shut up. I mean, you're close enough to my Oshi, right? Since you guys had the same model mama at some point. So close enough, I guess. Kenji is my actual Oshi, but you know, it works out. We're rolling with it. Fuck, where's my friend folder? Guys, okay, so I decided to like clean up my computer a little bit. I did that discount Oshi, that's wild. You're my favorite discount Oshi, Ash. Okay, so guys, I cleaned up my fucking computer, but now I don't know where all of my files are anymore. This is a problem. Also, you know what? Meek actually, I should probably switch to just chatting for now. I cleaned up too well. It's always the same shit. Like, I thrive on the chaos. At the moment I clean up, I can't find shit anymore. I should have kept the chaos. You're absolutely right, Rhea. This is all on me. Oh, I think I found it. There we... Okay, I found it. I found it. I found you guys. It was organ... Get out of my face. What the fuck? You have to check your art channel. My art channel? Holy shit, is that Limon? Holy fuck. Limon! Oh my god, I haven't seen you in so long. How are you? Wait, art channel? Hold on. No, hold on. I'm gonna do the friends first. I need to... I'm way too fucking chaotic. Way too fucking chaotic. She doesn't have to check any... No, I do. I do have to check everything. Okay, hold on. Ellie first. Ellie first. Ellie gets on the mod noodle. Greasy wants to be stepped on again. Hold on. I can do that. I have to put Mudang away real quick. Greasy, greasy, greasy. There we go. Okay. A few times I'm up late at night. Yeah, what's the time for you right now, actually? It must be super... Yeah, it must be super late for you, actually. Because I'm also streaming a bit later than usual. I got Greasy. Then Yumi. Oh my god, Yumi with her new friend. Ihi. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be on the ear or like here? Where do I put Yumi? I can't decide. Blue on the other foot, I keep you balanced. Yeah, okay, you're right. You gotta keep me balanced, considering how fucking unstable I am these days. Nibby, cuddles? Of course, you get cuddles. You know what, Nibby? You get the special cuddles today. No extra cost. There we go. You get the special cuddles. Okay, hold on. Tokens. Just feel better, Nippy. That's an order, not a request. Where's my blue friend? Did I just... I think I deleted my small blue friend. Hold on. Oh no, it's right. Okay. It just didn't load. Tokens. There we go. Perfectly balanced, as everything should be in life. Okay, hold on. Art channel. Let me see. Feet. Hi, Spooky. How's my favorite milkman doing? Where's my Discord? There it is. Oh, someone joined. Hold on. Art? Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god, Nippy, that is so cute! Hold on, I'm gonna have to save this. Nippy, thank you so much. That is so cute. Wait, I need to... Actually, I can show you guys some art today, I guess. This is the birthday art again that Kana got me. Or made me, even. Guys, look at the chibi! It's so cute! Oh my god, I am so in love with it! Oh my god! Oh my god, I am obsessed. Einstein is already screaming at me again. God, that is so cute. Wait, I want to put that somewhere where I can see it. And just stare at it. Nibby, when are your chibi commissions opening? This is perfect, dude. It's so cute. You know what? Since we're already here in showcasing art, I want to show you guys something else as well. I'd like to open them soon. Please do. Please do. In fact, I demand it. Okay, hold on. This is probably gonna be really big. You've been my mute. Yeah, this is the second chibi already you got me. You're spoiling me. You're the one spoiling me, not the other way around. Guys, I actually got like a late birthday gift from my mod Alpha Zeno. Hold on. Oh, I lost it. There we go. Guys, look at this. It's my new design and everything. It's so pretty. Ah, Smash, right? I Smash as well. Raw. Raw and passionate. Isn't it adorable? It's so good. That style is so pretty. Yeah. Wait, I wanna link the artist that made it. Shit. Hold on. What was her name again? Oh my god, let me scroll up. There. It's actually, if I remember correctly, it's Alpha Zeno's model mama that made it for him. Yeah. Okay. There's the link. I can't believe she is, well, they, actually. I don't think, did I read the pronouns wrong? I read the pronouns wrong. They are not even verified on Region yet, which I do not understand whatsoever. So, you know, if you want a cool scab or something, maybe consider hiring them for it. The art style is so fucking good. It's so pretty. God, I love it when I get art from my friends. I kind of want to put them... Hold on. How do I do this today? I don't even know what I want to do today, actually, guys. But guys, my mind is fucking all over the place, dude. I'm not kidding when I call myself unstable, because I generally do not know what to do with myself anymore. It's like, thank you for the head pet. I just don't know what to do with myself anymore. Everything is going wrong lately, you know? You know how when you're like thinking to yourself, you know what? Things are finally looking up for me. Like, if maybe I can actually get through this. And then bam, life fucking throws you like 10,000 curveballs that are just... I might crash out, I swear to God. I feel that, yeah, I know Nibby is going through a hard time as well. And I don't know, guys, I don't know. I don't even want to vent about all of the things that... You know what, I'll vent about it once I have... actually, yeah, I'll vent about everything that's going on once everything is fixed, or at least, like, in the past. Because if I vent about it now, I might actually start crying on stream. And we don't want that. Basti, hi, wie geht's dir? Alles gut bei dir? I want to show both of these. Hold on. Hope it gets resolved soon. Me too, man. Me too. Venting after every problem is done is great because you can say after. Yeah. At least I can say, yeah, I overcame that shit. Because, I mean, like, the thing is, I know it's gonna get resolved one way or another. I just don't want to go through the ways that, you know, require me being a Karen about it and shit like that. Because I hate being that type of person. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Red? Okay, hold on. But it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I know it's gonna be fine. It just sucks getting to the point. Where do I put you, Kazu? You know what? You get the crown today, Kazu. Because you're a cutie. Oh, actually, speaking of Kazu, let's talk about something funny. I made... Floresta on screen, of course. Hold on, Floresta, I got you. I made some really funny emotes for Kazu. And I'm not lying when I say, as unhinged as they are, they actually kept me grounded for a while. Hold on, I want to show these as well. So Kazu has this wonderful, wonderful persona on stream called Papachu. I called him Daddy Chu. I call him Daddy Chu though because he's so fucking sexy. But I made him emotes. Aren't these glorious, guys? Don't these emotes make your ovaries just explode? Mono! Mono, hi! Wait, I make Mono petals real quick. Oh, they are exploding. In fear? That's crazy. Are you telling me you don't think Papachu is hot as fuck? Insane. I'm busting a nut. Me too. I busted a nut like every 10 minutes. I've been working on those pieces. Already think about the next one? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. The face on the left made me stare. What are those? What do you mean, what are those? Those are beautiful portraits of my baby daddy. Isn't he handsome? Fucking Nibby is sterile now. Ow. Man. Wait, my bikes are working again. They were broken for a little while. Only a face Ellie could salivate. Oh, that's crazy. You know what? Fuck you guys. More for me then. More for me. I'll just keep my husband to myself then. He's the baby granddad. No, I just like him older, you know. Can't help it. Also raw? Yeah, I agree. At least Creasy knows what I'm talking about. Also, let me check on Lucy real quick. My poor little Lucy has been throwing up a lot. Not because she's sick or anything, but because she's too stupid to slow down while eating. Even though I bought her like those things that make cats slow down on eating, she still eats too fast. Glad we have the same taste, Ellie. Hell yeah. That's crazy, Limon. Please do keep him behind locked doors. Crazy. He deserves better than this abuse. This verbal abuse from you guys.
Stop it. Get some help.
You might have to try a Likime. I guess so, yeah. Wait, is that what I'm thinking about? Hold on. Let me look this up real quick. Where is my... Madame, do you have time to talk about your car's extended warranty? Yeah, sure. What do you want to talk about it? Because I don't actually own a car. So what kind of warranty are you on about, huh? Is it that dump truck of an ass I have? Do I have warranty on it? Ow! Yeah, I guess I'm okay, yeah, so these are super intricate, huh? I guess I'm gonna have to invest in one of those for them. Ay, ay, ay. Ist alles okay bei dir, hm? But yeah, I'll figure it out. She's gonna be okay. That was supposed to be my resub message. Thanks, Twitch, working flawless. Thank you for the resub, Teddy, even though I don't see it. But yeah, I hope everyone is doing better than I do. Oh yeah, actually, let me check. Let me fix the fishing stuff, because it still has its winter skin on. I guess we should switch over to the summer one, considering how fucking hot it is these days. Where is my fishing? Okay, hold on. Let me not accidentally dog something. Where is the setting? Wanna know a nice update, Ellie? Always give me updates, guys. Give me updates on your life and everything else you're working on. Please. Where is this setting? No, not a bug. I don't... Oh! Wait, I got it. Okay. Fuck. I lost it. Gotta dip again. See you later, hopefully. You better still be online. What if I'm not? But yeah, I'll try. Take care of yourself, Teddy. Thank you for stopping by. I guess this one is fine. I'm getting a 2.0 upgrade. Gotta get a new outfit soon with new emotes and a PNG tuber plus to ma- Oh my god, Limon, I am so excited to see that. Holy shit. Limon, have you? I don't think Limon is on my auto shoutout list. Or she is, and... Wait. Where's my list? No, you're on it. It's just that Mix It Up is not... Why does Mix It Up not shout certain people out when I tell it to? And I'm graduating college soon. Around July, I'll fish. Oh my god, you'll be done with college? Holy shit. Let's fucking go. I am so proud of you. I haven't been streaming since college is busy and my potato computer is not letting me stream even if I wanted to. I feel that pain. I feel that pain. Before my current computer, I had a really bad one as well. It was impossible to do anything with it. But I'm happy. Oh my god, I can't wait to see your 2.0 stuff. Holy shit. Limon getting all the W's right now? Yeah, for real. I'm so happy. So many of my friends are working on amazing new upgrades and like updates on their VTuber stuff. I am so excited. Mix It Up also hates me everywhere. That's, yeah. Honestly, same. My emote is like a teaser for it. Oh my god. I love it. Oh my god, the one where you're crying is so cute. I love it so much. So when do you think your stuff is gonna be done then? Like, roughly? Are you just gonna go for it like after you're already done graduating? Or before? Then again, you kind of have to do your get your computer stuff fixed as well, right? Ah, man. Wait, I wanna do this manually then. There we go. Guys, you should all follow Limon. Amazing streamer and very funny to watch. Hopefully by the end of June everything will be done, but I think I'll start streaming again after college graduation. Yeah, honestly that might be better, because then you're done with all of the stressful stuff and can just relax and enjoy streaming. Yes, yes. I don't know what to do today, guys. I feel like I don't feel like playing Crime Scene Cleaner today. We could... What other... I guess we could play the Liminal Space one. My favorite walking simulator, because then I can just still talk to you guys and just chill a bit. I'm working on my version 0.0.1. Hell yeah, Ellie, let's go. Because my boyfriend is gonna send me a new laptop and I can start setting everything. Oh my god! Fucking W. Let's fucking go. Everything is gonna fall into place for you. My old laptop can still be used for my studies for my upcoming nursing licensure? Licensure? Is that a word? I didn't even know. Nursing exam so that I could finally... Oh, let's go! I hope that goes well for you. Yeah, I still use my old laptop for certain things as well. It's crappy for certain things like playing games and stuff, but when it comes to work-related stuff, I still use it every now and then. I just had to get a new laptop for uni as well. Oh man. How much are laptops these days? I don't even know. Old ones, fans for that. Yeah, okay, so my old laptop actually started smoking at some point because the fans were so busted. And that was the moment I stopped using it. I feel like if I had used it like a minute longer, it would have exploded in my face. So yeah. Don't use old crappy computers, guys. They might blow up in your face and not in a good way. My little IT. I'm sorry, okay? I had no choice. I had no choice but to use this because I didn't have anything else. I recently had to repair my laptop for school. Repairs alone were 400. You might as well have just bought a new one at that point. Don't give your laptop cigarettes, but how else would it cope with the stress then? Smoking is bad. True, true. Don't smoke. Oh boy, I saw a video of a spicy pillow what? Exploding the other day. Burned down a whole Oh my god. That's scary. What the fuck? Burned down the whole damn building too, dude. Insane, insane. PSA to keep an eye on your batteries, guys, for real. I'm gonna have to check my sex toys later. Just to make sure they don't explode. Now it's a convertible laptop. A new one with comparable parts would have been like 800 to 1.2k. Yeah, okay, that's fair, that's fair. What?
Stop
Don't
it.
look at...
Get some help.
I'm just saying! Whatever, guys. Whatever. The one time a toy... Well, not really, actually. Like, you know those bad dragon dildos that actually have like a cum tube attached to them? And they can just explode cum inside of you if you wanted to?
Heck yeah, I love church.
Hi, Faye.
Coming hard and coming harder.
Yeah, we love church. I did not know those existed. Yeah, they do. What? Guys, do you really not know the existence of cum toys? Am I teaching you something just now? It's Faye.
Masturbation is a form
Hell yeah.
of witchcraft.
Need to get one for Teddy. Yeah, just... Listen. Just look for like... Just look for dildos that have something cum tube. And you're set. You just gotta buy the special loop that comes with it, but you know, it's worth it. Days since Ellie taught me so. That's crazy. You know what? Fine. You just don't appreciate my knowledge on my wisdom. My wisdom. You just don't appreciate it. It's always from you. Well, you're welcome. Whatever. My boyfriend is my dildo, so I don't need any other ones. Happy for you, Limon. Very happy. Finally, I can talk to someone about BD lore. Oh, hell yeah. See, Mono understands. Mono gets me. Wait, what are we talking about? We're talking about bad dragon dildos that have those cum tubes. You know the ones, Faye? You know that the ones that actually shoot like that loop cum thing inside of you if you want them to. I know. Yeah, see, Faye knows them too. I'm not surprised, by the way, but yeah, I guess I just taught some people the existence of those. Oh yeah, there's one that fills you with those alien eggs as well, and then they dissolve inside of you or something. Those are a bit sus to me. I don't think I would use those. But I get the appeal, I suppose. Is my stream marked properly? Hold on. It is marked properly. Perfect. Now imagine boba eggs. Oh my god, no. Not the boba eggs. I'm very much in shock right now. Well, you know what can I say? You come to this stream to be educated, right? So you get your education. I get the one coming, but the one with eggs? I mean, you know, no kink shaming here. If you're into that alien impregnation shit, why not? Go for it. At least those are safe. You know? At least those people have options, so they don't have to use the unsafe shit. I'd do it once. Yeah, me too. I would try it once. Reluctantly. But I just want, you know. That's how you learn things. Just trying it once. But I think I would keep it at the one time, yeah. Honestly, same. See, Limon gets it. I like this playlist. I'm keeping it. Honestly, I only know about those dildos because my friend came to visit her FR. friend. I had to help her find a shop that told it. Oh, but that sold it. She couldn't bring her bottle on. Oh my god. Wait. Oh. Okay, Nibby got... Yeah, Nibby... Back with Nuggies. Welcome back, Yumi. I'm glad you missed the egg talk just now. Also, where are my Nuggies? Share. I try for the purpose of knowing what it feels like. Me too, me too. I want to know at least what it feels like. What's the dip? Yeah, what kind of sauce are you using with it? How do I save a playlist? Ah, there we go. Ketchup and remoulade, let's go. Is remoulade an actual English word? I had a lot of, well, did they use it in Germany as well? At least in the northern part of Germany, they use it too. I had it quite a few times. It's pretty good. I got to know my friend very well over that phone call. I bet. I bet. But you know, that's how you know that you're good friends, because you can be open about that kind of stuff, you know? Nuggies with barbecue sauce or ketchup is great. Does anyone eat their nuggies with mayonnaise? Anyone? Or am I alone? I ask for a bite, a meager morsel, kind of. Mayo, yeah. I like mayo with my nuggies. Is that weird? Oh, Rhea does it too. And Yumi sometimes. Okay, I don't feel as alone now. Is it cause it's green? Yeah, Mono, you get me. You always get me. I like my cock meat with extra cream, you know how it is. My friend mixes her ketchup and mayo to dip her nuggies, fries, and pizza in. Pizza? Wait, your friend... Oh god, okay. I think... Wait, do people dip their pizza and stuff? Am I missing something here? With some Tabasco mixed in? Oh, hell yeah. You get it, Ellie. Wait, people use dipping sauces for their pizza? I dip it in Hidden Valley Ranch. I did mine in Reach. Okay, for the crust, I get. I get it if you use it for the crust. But, like, the pizza part? I mean, I would dip it in bleach too. I gotta be real with you. We eat our foods the millennial way, after all. The entire thing. Interesting. Huh. I don't think I ever dipped my pizza in anything. Actually, that's a lie. I know I used to dip my pizza in ketchup when I was really, really young, because I loved ketchup back then. But I dipped everything in ketchup back then, so that doesn't really count. But I don't do that anymore. Maybe I should dip my pizza in stuff. Maybe it's an elevated experience. That's also a typical kid thing. Yeah. I guess so. Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah, I found this really cool playlist on Spotify. Cucumbers dipped in ketchup is great. Really? Or are you just fucking with me now? Is it actually good? Wait, let me... This might be better, actually, placement-wise. No, I do it all the... Really? Okay, I will have to try it then. I'll have to try that. I never dipped my cucumbers in anything, I think. I do it all the time. Okay, I trust your judgment. I will try it next time I have cucumbers at home. I guess I could Yeah, you know what? We're gonna play the liminal space game while we talk. Do I still have it? Yeah, I should still have it installed. Yeah, Liminalcore. That's the name of it. Oh, I might actually have to switch models for that one though. No, you know what? We try it with my main model, but if I lag too much, I'll switch over to the chibi model and just take notes of the friends I have currently on me. You can also dip cucumbers and oh yeah, my mom always makes that dip for that kind of dip for herself. I see her enjoying that a lot. That does sound good. Fuck, I'm hungry now. Where's Einstein, actually? I haven't seen him in a while. Oh, okay, I see him. Cucumbers and specifically Hidden Valley Ranch is... Okay, so isn't... Okay, because I see that a lot, the Hidden Valley thing. Is it like... isn't every ranch like the same, like basically? Or is it like the peak one of ranches? Don't eat the cat? No. That's not the type of pussy I eat, don't worry. Hidden Valley is nasty? Okay. No?
Ma, there's a weird fucking stray cat outside. It looks like grandma, the fucking thing. Hey, get the fuck out of here. I don't even know if that's a fucking cat. Blink, motherfucker.
Hidden Valley is just very popular. That's true. Whenever I see something ranch related, I always see the Hidden Valley one. Annie Drew! Hello Drew, how are you? Ah. Mono lies. I guess it's a taste thing, huh? Hidden Valley ranch is very popular here in the Midwest. Okay, I see. I love it when they take cucumbers and soak them in vinegar with salt and spices. They come out tasting just like pickles. I'ma hold your hand while I say this. Oh, where's my water? Work just started. How Ellie do? I'm alive. I will be okay. Let's just say that. Good luck with your work though, Drew. I hope today is going smoothly for you. Why is my game not starting up? Hello, Steam? Nibi, go get food, please. Get some good noms. It's gonna make you feel better as well, even if just a little bit. It's been slow. Is that a good thing or a bad thing in your line of work, Drew? Because I do prefer slow days at work. Go get my comfort food. Excellent choice. Go get your comfort food. Just eat something. Am I lagging? Not yet. Okay. Let's see. Posture check, thank you. Where's my... Wait. Oh, there's my game capture. I changed a few things in my OBS. Liminalcore. Wait, that's too big. I'm also in the way with my fat ass. Having little to do for so long makes Drew dull and EP. Okay, I understand that one. I get that. Well, I hope it picks up for a little bit. Yeah, hold on. I know it's double music. Okay. Muted this one as well, so VOD is not being blasted with double music either. New Liminal game? It's not new anymore, I think. I just take ages to play through it. But I think we are on chapter 3 currently. Let me turn this off. Okay. Let's hope it's working fine. A flamingo, yeah. A flamago. A flamago, yeah. Is it a bit low? It's low for me, but not really low for you guys. Why is that? Okay, it's fixed. So, I know I was actually a bit stupid last time. Like, after we were done with this game on stream that day, I actually like got a phone call right after I stopped stream. So I kind of just absent-mindedly played a bit farther than I should have, because I was my brain was like, oh yeah, let me play game while I talk with this person, and then I was like, wait, this is a stream game, I shouldn't play this off stream. So I found my way out of the maze by accident, and this around here is the spot where I was like, wait, I should probably stop playing this. It is a bit laggy though. It is a bit laggy. I think I will switch over to my chibi model. I think we will do that. You cheated? You're just like, that's crazy. Insane. Okay, I will. Oh, I still have the stickers on. Hold on. I will refund the friends for you guys. Oh, I'm still stepping on Greasy though. I guess that works out. But I will refund the friends for you guys. I'm gonna have to... Oh, wait. I can turn off V-Purcher for this one. That's gonna eliminate a lot of lag. Want me to... Yeah, please, if you can, please refund the friend redeems for today, Ellie. And I think you also have a button where you can, like, turn them off for today's stream for now. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get bombarded, aren't I? Oh well, it's fine. Just bombard me with the friends while I set my model up real quick. Camera? Ah! Ah! Are we okay? Are we done? Are we done? I see, this is why you do it after the stream usually. Yeah, this is exactly why you do that kind of stuff after stream. Because... yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny and... Oh, also, let me... Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me turn off the Ko-fi goal. That's very much in the way right now. Yeah, you can technically do it on stream, but you might, like, overload the whole thing and then your stream crashes. So I kind of want to avoid that, you know? Especially if you have, like, a bit of a weaker machine to stream with. Croissant horn, Ellie, yeah. Feast your eyes on the horns. Okay, let's see. I think it's running a bit better now. But then again, you know, my stream crashing is not like it's anything out of the ordinary anyways, because my internet sucks. I just really hope we get some fiber internet at some point in this area. Oh, I already have a choice to make. I just really hope I get fiber at some point so I can stop stressing with this stupid internet stuff. I wouldn't even mind like paying triple the stuff, triple the amount I pay for internet now. I just want proper, stable, reliable internet. Balls! I love ball. Why is the ball just... Hello? Are you okay? Oh, I ruined it. I love balls. Fiber is the future. Yeah, the problem just is that my country is so agonizingly slow when it comes to internet stuff, like updated internet stuff and shit like that. You made the ball strong. Insane. I just don't know how much longer I have to wait for fiber, you know? So until I am at the point where I can get it. Hi. How are you doing? Oh, hi, guy. Can I join you guys? I can't. I can't sit down. Who are you guys calling? What's going on? Anyways, we could all use fiber in our diet. I agree. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, is this... Saw that? You didn't see anything. Oh. Okay, no. I guess I'm going the right way. You saw nothing. Also, ad break in 3 minutes. But oh, I'm not going the right way. I see. I guess I'm going the other way. What's this contraption? Is it like a huge face too? No, it's just a weirdly shaped wall. Cool. Okay, let's go the other way. And once ads run, I go to the bathroom real quick.
Sloppy.
Hi, Song.
Surprise stream.
Yes, surprise, surprise, I'm live. Honestly, I would have been live much earlier, but of course you clipped that. But Yumi was streaming, and I was just waiting for Yumi to stop streaming so I could start my stream. But why just chatting? Because I have not changed the category yet. Hold on. Oh. CDM. Hold on. Oh, that's okay. That's okay, Ali. Nope, no issues. Wait. Oh, you missed. Song must have a really short-term memory. All right, they're paused now. Right. Change category. Liminalcore. There we go. Damn, I hope I make it in time for Yumi's stream as well next time. Yeah, Yumi was playing the new Monster Hunter with her fiance today. And he has a really, really cool PNG. So you guys should definitely go check her out. Her streams are really fun and really cozy. Actually, Yumi, shout yourself out. Oh, now that... Okay. Ads are gonna start. My fiance. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. I know. Oh yeah, Greasy was there too. I forgot. Cause I saw Greasy in like Foxy's chat as well. So I forgot, yeah, that you were in there as well. But yes, Song, thank you for the resub. Ads are about to start. So we will let those run real quick. I'm gonna set you guys up with the Gardic stuff so I can go pee real quick. My ADHD makes me watch multiple channels at once. Yeah, same here. Go piss, girl. I will. I want to set this up real quick, though. So you guys have something to do if you want. Wait, is music on here? Actually.
Are you paying attention to the street?
I am! Okay. Okay, I'll let you guys do this real quick and I will be right back. You can do it, Yumi. I believe. In the meantime, I gotta fix my settings. No, actually, you know what? In the meantime, I go feed my cats real quick. I did not realize how late it is already. Did you guys do it? Damn, look at Yumi go. Okay, hello, camera? Would you believe us if we said yes? Yeah, I would believe you. Okay, my entire PC is lagging for some reason. Let me turn down the game settings. They're already on medium. What do you mean? What else could I close? Close this. Damn! Good job! Alright, alright, alright. Nice. Very nice. I'm proud of you guys. I'm sure you cleared every single stage. Alright, my PC is still a bit laggy. But all of them, all of them. Can I get a headpad and a Snickers? Of course. How could I eliminate? I am not even sure why it's so laggy. You got Blender. I'll never get rid of this fucking stigma of being a Blender user now. No, Blender is not open. Maybe it's just the balls, honestly. Maybe it's the balls lagging me out. This is so cool. Let's go. Do I die here?
Dehydrated bitch.
We finished chapter 3. I hydrate, thank you. I landed on my left butt cheek. Oh, see, now it's... Okay, yeah, it was the balls. Now my computer is less laggy. I think it was just the huge amount of balls that lagged me out. Take that out of context. And we're back in the pools again. Did I change... Did I change the category? Guys, what does the category say? I can't check right now. Wait, actually, let me check. Please don't lag me out again. Yes? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Oh, let me change the title as well. Liminal. Or... Done. Yes, thank you. Damon, did I type that right? Spell that right? Yes, I did. I'm a genius. My sub to Odd Kana has expired. We gotta change that soon. That is not allowed. I gotta wait till June though. But I need to resub to Nibby and to Kana again. And Kazu as well, of course, because I need my Papachu emotes now. This isn't... These pool rooms don't look very friendly anymore. I don't like it when they're dark. Because then they remind me of the ones in the Escape the Backrooms game. Because those just killed you. Like, you would even... You could just look at the fucking dark pool rooms and you would be dead after like 3 seconds. This isn't a beach, this is a bathroom. Well... What makes a beach a beach? Also, hi Zark, hi. Did I say hello to you? I hope I did. Do I die if I go in? Oh shit, yeah, that's very deep. Oops. Hello? Okay. Let's not go in that. Oh, you joined when you... Okay, that's why. Hi Zark. Good to see you. Intrusive thoughts one day always do. They always do. They don't let me go in. Wait, is it E or F to interact? Neither. Okay. Don't approach the void. Why not? It's just Cookie. Oh, maybe I really shouldn't approach the void. But it's just Cookie, guys. It's harm. What the fuck? It's harmless, I'm sure. Why is the splashing so loud here? If the void is cookie-shaped, it's fine. True. Whoa. What's this? Oh shit, that's so cool. Maybe it's not that cool anymore. What is this? Is this gonna kill me? Wait, is this actual water or is it just reflection? No, it's just reflections, right? Yeah, it is, but where do they come from? This is so trippy. Oh, there's... No, this is all just... Oh god, this is so trippy. Why is my vision getting blurry? I can't go in here. Wait, I want to go in. Okay, it doesn't let me go in here. There's like a wall here. Nice caustics. What's this? Oh, there's a ladder. I wanna climb on it. Yeah, this is glass. You're right, you're right. Man, I wanna go in though. What the? I'm not in water, but there's water sounds. This is so trippy. What the fuck, you're streaming? I am. Hi Alpha, how are you? I decided to stream a little bit today. Yes, yes. I I also showed off the art that you gifted me for my birthday. Wait. Oh, we're on the other side now. Okay, I grab more food. Okay, grab more nuggies. I missed the glazing. Yeah, I'm sorry. You can watch the VOD though. Ooh, that is so cool. Man, this is a location for a sick music video. Oh, that was lag. Imagine the music video you can film in here. All K-pop like and shit. That is so cool. I'm gonna use this as a thumbnail. Very nice. I go this way. Ace! Hi Ace, how are you? Oh. Okay, it's one of those. It's one of those guys. Man, I love liminal spaces. They show up on my TikTok a lot now. Yeah, I am a huge fan of liminal spaces and like generally the backroom stuff. It's just so cool to me. I know a lot of people find it like cringe Gen Z shit or some whatever the fuck they're called. But I love it. It's just so cool to me. This is, oh my god, this is so trippy. I love it. Hi Valros. How are you? Thanks for that. So, of course, you're my friend. You always get a shout out when you come in here. What's this? Whoa! I love liminal spaces more than the back rooms. Me too. Like nowadays, the back rooms just have so much weird lore surrounding them, where you can tell that it's mostly just kids having fun. But when it comes to like, I think they just want to replicate like an SCP space, but it's not gonna work out. But the backrooms could never replace my love for SCP. Yeah, same for me, Nibby. Exactly the same for me. Like, I adore SCPs. Is this gonna kill me again, or can I walk? This is so cool, dude. Man, this would look amazing on max quality. Oh. Okay, I think I'm dead. Okay. What is SCP? Oh man. Yumi. It's a whole rabbit hole. That is so hard to explain in like a few words. But honestly... Okay, so I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I want to start making YouTube, like actual YouTube content, and the SCP universe is going to be part of it. Like I want to cover like a lot of SCP icebergs and stuff like that. So if you want, Yumi, if you actually want to learn like what the SCP stuff is all about, it does stand for Secure, Contained, Protected, yeah. It's basically like just a collection of like a bunch of like otherworldly like entities, you know? And the lore and like stories surrounding them is so fucking cool. Yeah, it is Secure, Contained, Protect. You're right, bro. You're right. But yeah, if you wanna one day learn about them, I might actually like start making YouTube. I mean, I'm gonna start making YouTube content about them because I'm just so fascinated by it. Those are definitely gonna be amongst my first YouTube videos. But I'm gonna start the creepy YouTube content like after my rebrand, I think. Because it just fits my model better. So I don't feel too disconnected. But I can already start writing the scripts and stuff, so I'm very excited for that. Oh god, why would you give me that sound? Okay, I don't think I can... Excuse me, I'm talking! Okay, yeah, I have to walk. What's in there, I wonder? I really want to go in there, but it doesn't let me. I just die immediately. It does fit way better with the new theme. Yeah, it does. I used to work at a SCP facility back in the day, but they had to let me go.
I have no ears, but I must try again.
Thank you for the reset. Wait, I don't think he can hear me. Thank you. But they had to let me go. The creatures were afraid of me because I would throw straight hands when he got out of line. You're the real one, Alpha. You're the type of hero we don't deserve, but we need. Okay, I don't think I should I? No, I don't think this is the end. But yeah, I love the SCP universe. Oh, hi! Look at him. All ready for me. This might be too dark for a stream, though. He has his mouth gaping open, in case you guys cannot see it. I know that OBS darkens the games sometimes for some reason. I think I should probably put the filter on it, so it kind of counteracts that. Oh, I'm back here. Oh, I'm back here. Okay. So this is the way back, right? This is where I came from? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was over there. Okay. Wait, so which way would I go then? Let's see. Let's go this way again. I want to make sure I haven't missed anything. In the mouth, right in the mouth. Right down that ladder. Right that ladder. Wait, is there a ladder? Can you climb in the mouth? Lucy, was durch? Oh, Lucy is hunting. Chasing a small fly. Can I climb in? No, I can't. Well, you know what? Let's backtrack. Step ladder, what are you doing? There wasn't anything else here, right? Maybe I should go down here. Maybe I should. No? Let's see. Oh, maybe that wasn't the right call. Yeah, no, okay, I don't go down there. Okay. This is my step ladder. I never knew my real name. Can you growl at me again, Daddy? Thank you. Bricked up, guys. My pee-pee is so hard right now. These sounds are horrifying and satisfying at the same time. Yeah, they really got that down to a T. They know what they're doing with these sounds. Okay, so we're back here. God, this is so fucking cool. I can't go that way. Would be cool, but I can't. There's something behind this big fella. Let's see. Can I walk on him? No. Absolutely nothing. Not even a butthole. Okay. Let's go back. I love this part. So cool. Alright. There's also no other way here at all. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, this way. I don't think I went that way, right? No, I don't think I did. Right as fuck. Yeah. What is that? Wait, is that just a... That's just a weird reflection. Never mind. Climb, please. Thank you. Alright. No choices to make here, I guess. Let's see. Oh, what? Oh, okay. I thought there was like a hole here or something. Someone's standing... No, that's a door. But, oh, maybe this is the same thing as last time where I got an achievement for turning around and catching something in the water with me. No? Okay. Oh! The infamous arches. All the water and especially the sounds make me feel like I have to pee. But I refuse to be manipulated by a game. Honestly, yeah, it does have that effect, doesn't it? Oh, I don't think I've mentioned it, but tomorrow I am a guest on Foxy Lily's stream. And oh, 1 second. Tomorrow I'm on Foxy's stream, and she's basically gonna play a spooky game. It's either gonna be Mortuary Assistant or something else I forgot the name of. And I'll basically just be there to roast her. I'm not playing anything. I'm just being there to talk shit about her. Yes, thank you so much for the shout out. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna post in Discord as well once we start the session. But I think it's gonna be funny. If you need some type of entertainment tomorrow. I've been in a place like this before. Ooh. It's so fucking cool. I love places like these. My kitty is eepy right now. Aw. Oh my god, my Oshis are gonna stream together. Yeah. I'm gonna talk shit about your fox Oshi. Wait, can I? Okay, we're going this way first. Watch it make no difference. It's so fucking cool. Me when I see Ellie is like... Okay, it made no fucking difference. Alright. It wasn't as high ceiling, but there was an exhibition with a bunch of candles. Wait, that sounds beautiful. That sounds really, really cool. I love candles. I miss having lit candles, but I can't use them anymore now that I have cats. They would be stupid enough to burn themselves. Oh, what was that? Lag spike. Oh. Holy shit. This is so fucking cool. Whoa. Oh my god, where do I go? I guess you found a place to work out for a trip to Japan. Holy shit, this is so... Oh, do I have to go down there where the big light source is? Whoa, this is so trippy. I think I do. I go away for 1 second and come back to Eldritch Stairs, right? This is so cool. Oh, this is not the way to go. Okay, this is a stair maze. Holy fuck, guys. Where do I go? Oh, there's light here. Okay. Not weird at all. This might take a moment. Fuck me. This is amazing. Can I? No. No, I can't. It was worth a try. Jump? I did. I did. And it did me nothing. It put me back at the start. Fuck me. Okay, I'm not fucking around anymore. Let's see. Do I go back there? What is that's... No, I can't even. Kana! Hello, Kana! Speak of the devil. Hi! How are you? How's my beautiful Duchess doing?
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
I will. Oh god, I almost fell. What? Hi, Lucy. Was ist los? I don't know when that ran out. What do you... Oh, do you mean you're...
Sloppy. Elia wiggly, Elia wiggly, Elia wiggly.
Ow, Lucy. Thank you so much for the resub. I actually just, like 10 minutes ago, I was like, I was on Twitch, and then I got a message that my sub for your channel ran out, and I was like, I immediately need to resub after stream. Lucy, ow. Give me a second. I need to tame Lucy. Kom her. Lucy, kom også. Come on. Lucy, was viel zu viel Energie für mich. bin zu alt für den Scheiß. Komm her, Lucy. Spaß. Okay. Ugh, that music with Ellie's empty eyes staring at us. My bad, I am the Eldritch Horror. Damn, now you're admitting you're old. You had heard nothing. Hi Walros, ich hoffe dir geht's gut. I'll be right back for meeting. Okay, Drew. Have a good meeting. But yes, I am old. What of it? Okay, I do have... Okay. Fuck, dude. Where do I go? Okay, I definitely shouldn't do that again. Okay. So old? That's crazy. Don't worry, we all know you're old, getting ass fucked up as it takes time. What's that supposed to mean? Nope, not this way either. Am I dumb? Nothing of it. Auf alten Pferden lernt man das Reiten oder so. No. I mean, yes, I guess you do. God damn it! You know, maybe that's what I should have done. No, that one looks like you would... Yeah, I figured that might have been actually the right way to go. Now that I think back at it. I think I was supposed to jump down. But, let's see. Something, ride old horse. You learn to ride on an old horse is basically the saying that Greasy just said. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. I got it. If I was old, I would pretend to be young by adapting some young people slang. Do you get my drift, digger? Yeah, I get your drift, digger. Kuss aufs Auge. Voila. Hello? Don't tell me I cannot go... I'm gonna lose my shit. They don't let me step on this. Bro, it's literally just a small climb. Like, what the fuck? I have apprentices that generally talk like that, Ellie. Yeah, I know. It's just modern, you know, modern German. Knees too old for real. Absolute bullshit. My knees are very old, though. They carry a lot of weight because I have a fat ass. Oh god, for a second I wasn't sure if you were climbing up or down the stairs. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. And a huge... yeah, that too. Guys, speaking of cogs... Wait, let me get out of here first. I don't want to accidentally fall and start all over again. I made more commands, by the way. Like, we don't only have the PP command now. We also have exclamation mark balls and exclamation mark booba. We have more commands now. Geschlechtsteil is crazy. Greasy! You got the top % on your first try. What the fuck? 101% is the maximum I set in. Anna, please don't look at me like that. Can confirm he has great tits. I believe it. Glad that my man boobs are enough. But yeah, you can weigh your balls now, and you can also... Are you telling me where to go? That is so fucking cool. I'm not walking in that water. I know it's gonna kill me. I'm learning. Hi, Ghost. Hello, hello, welcome in. What game is this? It's Liminalcore. It's mostly, well, basically just a walking simulator where you walk through a liminal space. I love these types of games because it's very chill, and I can just chat with my community while I do it, you know? Wish it did the thumbs up. That would be way funnier. It wants you to touch fingertips. It can touch a tip. A tip. Not sure about the fingertip though. Thank you for the hat pad. Can I? I can't fall down. I'm hugging the wall because I'm an idiot. Ah! Save. It saves automatically. Thank you though. But welcome in, Ghost. I hope you're doing well today.
Ma, there's a weird fucking stray cat outside. It looks like Grandma, the fucking thing. Hey, get the fuck out of here. I don't even know if that's a fucking cat.
Blink, motherfucker. Don't look back. I will do right now. How high am I going up? Been some time since I've seen your stream. Yeah, unfortunately I don't stream a lot, but I really want to change that. I want to stream more. Because health-wise, I'm feeling... Oh, we're back. What the fuck? Okay, we're back here again. I guess we're gonna jump again, guys. Don't tell me this is death. No, I'm okay. Hello? Wait, am I... Oh. This... Oh, okay, there we go. This looks friendly. I like it. Very cozy, very homey. Ruining my headpad with a bike. I'm sorry. Where'd the water go? I wish I knew. But health-wise, I am feeling much better already. I'm not coughing a lung out anymore. So that's pretty cool. So that means my fucking throat is actually finally able to recover as well. Thorlar! Oh my god. What happened to my thing?
What the dog doing?
Oh my goodness. Hello, Thorla. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. How was your stream? I hope it was good. Oh my god, my radar lord was stuck for a second. Kermit the Virtual? Yeah, but oh my god. Today is such a laggy day for me, guys. I'm not even sure what's happening to my computer. But hello! Welcome in! My name is Ali. I stream a bunch of horror games, and I'm really bad at them, but, you know, I try my best anyways. I hope you guys are doing well. Wait, let me pause here. Hello, hello, what were you guys up to? Stream was super fun. Doing? Hell yeah. I was lurking a little bit. Oh god. I can God, it's so laggy I can barely
What the dog doing?
I can barely scroll up in my chat. But thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, thank you. And Angel Witch, Juno, and Kirin, thank you so much for the follows as well. It's good to see the Octopals again. Did Thaler break the stream? Yeah, Thaler broke my stream, guys. Blame him, please. Blame Thaler for my scuff today. Wait, Thaler, I didn't know. Oh.
Get some help.
Yeah. I didn't know that Twitch ambassadors get a special badge now. Has that always been a thing? This is the first time I see it. Like, I know you've been an ambassador for a little while now, right? But I've never seen that badge on you. That's really cool. After Raid and Run, gotta pack bags and stuff prior to TwitchCon. Oh, yeah, of course, get ready. Get ready for TwitchCon. I hope you have an amazing time there. And good travels. Have safe travels. Thank you for bringing your community over. I'll make sure I don't corrupt them too much. Or will I? I don't know. Maybe I will. But yes, I'm the ambassador C. That's crazy. Time yourself out, Eighth. Time yourself out for that one. Too much? I can take it. Trust. Okay. I will keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind.
Stop it.
Ah!
Get some help.
Okay, fine. I behave. My wife is telling me to behave. Sorry, it wasn't cool. I understand.
What the dog doing?
Man. Welcome back, Drew. Welcome back. But yes, everyone who came over with the raid, thank you so much for joining. Is that a tentacle? Hold on. Thank you so much for joining the raid. Thank you. This is a this looks like a tentacle. It is a tentacle. Is it? I can't tell. Maybe it's just a really weird... Oh, wow. Shade! Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the 5 community subs. Oh my god, thank you. You're welcome for the subs, you lucky 5 winners. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Why am I seeing Why am I seeing Kermit twerking over some pancakes? Well,
A train
you see...
of hype has begun.
Oh, you're right, we do have a hype train. You see, we are Kermit enjoyers in this stream. And why not enjoy Kermit's butt cheeks as well, you know? And we also love pancakes, so why not combine those things? We? Yes, we. If you are here, you are a Kermit enjoyer song, even if you don't like it. Ellie is eating butt frog pancakes, I think. I do. It's great flavor. Try it, guys. Trust me. It's definitely not toxic at all. What is going on here? Where am I? Valid. You will learn to like it. Exactly. Anthe has the right idea. You will learn to like it. It's very healthy too. It's good for your health. Has tons of fibers. You're gonna have great poops as well. Jump? Okay, I will jump. Just for you, Yumi, I will jump. Oh. Oh, I was hoping I could land on them. But I guess not. Are you happy, Yumi? I jumped for you. Just for you. Oh. Wait, where? Oh, there it is. Okay. This is so cool, though. Which chapter are we on? I forgot. Is it chapter 6 or chapter 5? I think it's 5. Let's see. Oh god, I have too many choices here. What do I do? 5, I think? Yeah, I think it's 5 as well. Didn't you just finish 3? 3 was the one with all of the balls. Out of context. But yeah, the 3 was the balls. And then 6... 6, my god, I fucking can't count. 4 was the pool thingy. And I guess this one is 5. I'm running.
Sloppy.
Sappy V, hello. Hold on. The voices are talking to me again. Give me a second. Sappy V, thank you so much for the resub. You already put up with me for 16 months. That's crazy. It's good to see you. What are you guys saying? There's nothing here. Oh, is that writing? No, it's not writing on the wall. Alright, I'm leaving. Calm down. I'm going up. Shut up. Oh, and I'm back in a tunnel again. I am getting lost so badly here. What am I doing?
Reminde eli you're very adorable and you have a 2 meter Peter. Translation for Merika Boyus, that means Elis smeat is around 7 feet.
7 feet? Is that how long my dick is? That's crazy. Wait, there's a person. Hello? What are you watching? Why is there a tube coming from your brain? That's right, Ellie. Yes, Kana, what is it? What is it? Oh, what is that? What the fuck? Why are you grabbing me? What did I do? What do you mean you saw? The abominate. Are you talking about Kazu's emotes? You mean these babies right here? Look at them very closely. Wait, let me zoom in for you. Let me just zoom in for you. Do you like him? Best Pikachu I've seen? Yeah, that's Papa Chew. That's Daddy Chew. That's my baby daddy. Oh, you spilled over your drink. I'm sorry.
Stop it.
Ah, okay, fine. I'll leave it. Man. You're what? Don't worry about it. I knew Kana would yell at me for those at some point. I was ready.
What the dog doing?
Perhaps the mind bleach? No. Don't bleach that out of your mind. It needs to be there. Happy. Oh my god, what a cute name. Hello, Happy. Thank you for the follow.
What the dog doing?
And Bubble Butt as well. Thank you for the follow as well. Welcome in, guys. What the? Oh, hello. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch!
I will drink. This is how I picture Kana staring at me. Judgingly. Dio Pikachu would be a nice touch. Ooh. Maybe Kazuma takes suggestions. Maybe he lets me Jojo... Is it following me? Maybe he lets me Jojo-fy Papachu. It needs to be gone along with ages of bullying. Crazy. All I did was type O. Very sensitive emote. That's true. I love that hydrate alert. Thank you. It actually was my very first alert on stream that I added, and I haven't changed it since. It's been the same since 2 years now. I think my anniversary is coming up soon, guys. Have I mentioned that? I'm not exactly sure when, but I know it's soon. Thank you, I hydrate. Let me snooze aheads. We don't need those right now. But yeah, Or is it already passed and I missed it? I'm not sure. You're gonna do anything special for it? Probably not. But, if I get something done in time, I might actually... Well, it's not gonna be a special stream or anything like that, because you know how I am with those. I'm always too nervous to do anything special for my stream stuff. But, if I get something very special done in time, I might actually be able to show something off during my anniversary, at least. I just got my sins forgiven, always. Once you're here, all of your sins are gone, and you can make new ones. Where the fuck am I going? I don't... Oh, am I outside the building? Oh shit, that's so cool! This looks demonic though, not gonna lie. Where am I? Is this where I have to go? Let's see. Is that a Backrooms game? I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, there's definitely partly inspired of the Backrooms, like, definitely. But I would call it more like a liminal space instead of a Backrooms. But I guess you can use those terms interchangeably as well. I guess people do use, like, Backrooms and liminal space interchangeably, so... I guess you could call it a Backrooms game if you really want to. I'm not too picky about what you call it. I'm just enjoying the walking simulators, honestly. I love games like these. I love exploring and just, you know... What the fuck? I hear a heartbeat. Clean your glasses? No! Actually, honestly, I should clean my glasses. Hold on. You actually have... You're so right. My glasses are so dirty. But the ones in-game I unfortunately can't clean. Oh, god damn it, they're still dirty. Now I made them even dirtier now. God damn it. I made them dirtier. There we go. Intense glasses cleaning with this ambience, true. Backrooms is also a type of liminal space. True. Yeah. If you like walking simulator, try Death Stranding. Oh, I actually... Well, I haven't played it myself, but... I watched Death Stranding playthroughs. What the fuck? Hello? Oh. Oh, it's a cutscene. Hello? What's happening? Really? You just fade out? Oh. Ow! Ow! Stop it! Oh, there we go. It's gone. Thank fucking God. Oh, I'm done! Oh, it was still chapter 4. I'm done. Okay. My God. What an ending. Holy shit. Hold on, let me catch up on chat. Only sins that matters, Johnny sins. I agree. Teddy! Thank you for, oh my God, for the 5 community subs. Thank you so much. Thank you. A repo robot. Ooh, a repo robot. Wait, what did you say? By the way, last year a Backrooms game came out and it was mentioning the SCP Foundation. I heard of that. All of the Backrooms games have like such similar titles that I don't really know which one it was though. But I remember that game. Oh, Ellie, there's still that one particular Backrooms game. I think it was called Infinitum. I need to play that with you. I don't know if the demo is still... Oh, yeah, we need to play... I definitely want to play that one with you. I definitely want to. Let me catch up. You got them Coke bottle glasses? Yeah, you know it. I wonder what that flesh tastes like. Very good question. Jesus, Greasy, thank you so much for the 5 subs as well. My goodness. Thank you. Oh my god, I can't catch up. Happy birthday. It's not my birthday. You were there for so long your heart stopped. Ooh. SCP and backrooms? Now that's a combo. Yeah, I know people love to combine those two. Wait, it's Sally's birthday. It's not my birthday. Oh, I forgot to ban the word birthday. Well, not ban, but... No, my birthday was 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks? Yeah, roughly 2 weeks ago. She's lying, chat. No, I'm not. Don't believe my chat, guys. They're all liars. It was a weird one, but it had quite interesting lore. I gotta find that game again. Oh, I did not want to. Oh no. Ah! Thank
Happy
you for
day.
Thank you, Ellie. Thank you for the bits. Thank you. Okay. What do we do now? Oh my god. Sarg! Sarg, you're not supposed to... You're not supposed to... Fuck it, I can't talk anymore. Gift subs anymore. Thank you so much.
What the dog doing?
Enge, hello. Thank you for the follow and welcome in. Thank you. Okay, let me close this. Floresta! Floresta, thank you for the 50 biddies. Late gift. Thank you. I accept that. It do be that cozy mind break, right? I'm always cozy mind break. What do you mean? Oh, man. Let's see. What should we do now? I don't want to end stream just yet. Oh, should we play Observation Duty? At least get used to the new map. Hi, Luna. How are you? Hello. Welcome in. If it shows up again, though, I just donate. I just have to donate 95 subs to fix it. That's crazy. Teeny tiny redhead. Hello, welcome in, and thank you for the follow. I love your name. I love your name, Teeny. Get drunk? Hi, imagine. I actually don't drink alcohol, though. Observation duty is quite long, yeah. But we usually just do like, you know, a little bit at a time. A bit tired. Yeah, I feel that. I hope you get some energy for the rest of the day, though. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because I cannot play Observation Duty for too long because my brain just gets absolutely scrambled otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, you have to focus on so many things, and at some point, everything is just mushed together in your brain. And that's about the time where I stop. Yeah, you know what? We can play a little bit of that before I have to go. You know what? While I set that up, Twitch is yelling at me to run the ads, so I will do that right now real quick. I will run 3-minute ads so we have, like, you know, no pre-rolls for an hour. I don't want people to get pre-rolls when they come into stream for the first time. By the way, is that Danny DeVito? Yes, it is. It is the sexiest man on earth. What she is saying is she's very gaslightable. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, yes, I will run these ads real quick, and I'm just setting everything up while that happens. Or it's an egg with glasses. Wow. Is it wrong, though? Never. Which game were we on? We were on 5, right? Let's see. Oh, do you guys want to play again, or are you done with the Gardic stuff? I cannot type, apparently. Observation do 5. We were on 5. I go be right back. Okay. You do your stuff. Is it starting up? I love this Discord commercial he did and the punchline he delivered at. Wait, Danny DeVito did a Discord commercial? Did he actually? I'm gonna have to look that up after stream. Really? Wait, I'm gonna have to write that down so I don't forget. That is so funny. I never seen that. Was it like aimed at the American audience, I guess? It's like 10 minutes long. I am going to have fun with that later. Hold on. Danny DeVito Discord. That is so I had no idea. Why hadn't nobody told me? Why has nobody told me about that? I'm disappointed, chat. Wait, my game capture isn't working. There it is. It's working. Do what I do, set an alarm. I still haven't stopped the one for... Stop that alarm for me. My god. Oh, there we go. Wow, I'm pro streamer, guys. I know what I'm doing. What's that? Oh. Okay, ads are still in progress for like 25 more seconds. And then at least we can get used to the new map. Can you peek at your Discord super quick? Of course I can. For like 20-ish minutes. Oh, I can't join that, unfortunately. In 20-ish minutes? No, I would only be able to like play for like a little bit. But thank you for letting me know, Nippy. You should join them though. Are you gonna join them, Nippy? Ow, 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 ow. Okay, ads are over. But thank you for letting me know, Nippy. Maybe I can join Repo next time. If we get enough people, I want to try, yeah. The issue with me is I don't have Repo installed anymore. And I obviously cannot download it during stream because then my stream would just die. Because my internet is just really that bad. Escaped from Airtel, welcome back. So yeah, yeah. I'll join next time though, I'll join next time. I should probably be social so my brain stops rotting. I agree. It would do you well. I think you would have fun, Nibby. You should definitely try. You can always hop out if it's too much. Oof, yeah, casual. My internet is the worst of the worst. I'm surprised I can even stream, honestly. Okay. Let me unmute this real quick just to see. Oh god, it's loud. There we go. Darth Charger. That is such a good emote. That's a global Twitch emote? I love that. Okay, we were at the house. It would be useful if you could make your firewall limit the bandwidth for your stream client. Yeah, I know. I cannot... Wait. I should have paid attention. Whatever. You can already like limit how much bandwidth your Steam client uses for downloads anyways. But I still don't trust it. I still don't trust it. Like, my internet is extremely unstable. as soon as I do something else that doesn't involve anything stream related, I might just get disconnected, you know? Go away. I got this. Who would win, Darth Kermit or Darth Jar Jar? Who would win indeed? I think Drew would win. Look at that menacing emote. Okay. First time playing this one. I think. Yeah. Oh, Darth Kermit, you think... Hi, also, hi, Dodger. Hi, welcome in. You think Kermit would win? No, we played this. Yeah, this looks familiar. I think we played this once, and I already forgot everything about it. Wait, is the... Yeah, I commented on the cum stains in the bathroom. I say Kermit, Darth Jar Jar is still Jar Jar and thus very accident prone. You're right, Kana, you're right. Huh? What do you mean, huh? Look at this. You see my cursor, right? Yeah, look at this. Look at the cum stains. You can't tell me that's not it.
Stop it.
Ah,
Get some help.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll just play this for a little bit. And, yeah. We'll just see. We'll just get used to this. Hey, yo, someone's been gooning over there. Yeah. Makes sense in that room. What does that mean, Song? Oh god, Song, is something gonna happen with the two dudes again in that room? Tell me it ain't so. What? That's a weird-ass picture. Orbs. Wait, what? How does the report system work? Oh, so we don't have to... Okay, so this is the new support thingy again, where you just put in where the anomaly is, but not what it is. Ellie Gooner confirmed. That's crazy. I never goon, guys. I'm a good Christian girl. X? Are you doubting me? That's crazy.
Heck yeah, I love church. Coming hard. And
Coming harder. Yeah, see? I even have church redeems. I'm a good Christian. This shadow looks like someone standing there. That's really creepy. I'd love to have an apartment as big as that kitchen. Me too. I'd love to have a kitchen like that, honestly. My kitchen is so small.
Masturbation is a form of witchcraft.
Already? Well, you know what? Let's go for it. Surely something is wrong in this room, right? Wait, there is... What's wrong? What was wrong? Wait, what did I fix? I was kidding.
Is a form of witchcraft.
Are you paying attention to the screen?
I am paying attention. I swear. Master Bussy is crazy. Is that picture supposed to be this creepy or is it a picture anomaly? Let's see. Maybe it's like actually an anomaly and it's not supposed to look like this. Because it looks weirdly creepy for something that's supposed to be default. It was an anomaly. Locked in on Bayonetta always. Yeah, I find it hard to believe that Ellie is a good Christian girl. What? What? But like fair. Yeah, see, I knew you would understand.
Heck yeah, I love church. Coming hard.
And coming harder. I love charge. Did something just move here? You guys saw that, right? What happened? Game room. We're just guessing. Okay, nothing. What? What is someone peeking outside? That looks like a head, right? Am I crazy? Surely you can just report every room at this point and get something. I could, but I only have... Fuck, I have 3 tries and then I get... Then I die, I guess, or something. And I already fucked up 2 tries. I find it hard to believe that Ellie is a good girl in general. Once we... What? I'm a good girl when it counts? Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, it's like... They do change like the reporting system up a bit. So sometimes you can just guess however... Hi! How you doing? You can head pet him if you want. Sometimes you can just guess however much you like without penalty, and then you have a penalty system. 3 tries and you get fired, yeah. Oh! What the fuck? Oh god, okay. It's a Skibbity washing base. Skibbity is everywhere. Okay. Alright. That's normal? Yeah, that's totally normal. I believe it. A lot of orbs, though. That is... Wait. Is that a normal camera angle, or am I tripping? Let's see. We're just gonna die. Shit. It's over. Okay, again. I actually love this map. I thought the orbs were just... Well, orbs are usually just us, I think. It's Ellie over. It's Ellie over. It's over, guys. Okay. We're actually locking in now. I don't need this warning. I know what I'm doing. Another rug in the kitchen. It bothers me so much when people have rugs in the kitchen. Don't they get so dirty and greasy? I don't understand. Rugs, like carpets, or whatever you call them. I wasn't paying... Yeah, you heard your name, but not... Yeah, I didn't mean you though, Gracie. Sorry. Yeah, rugs. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is a bit weird sometimes. I know that. I try though. Well, when I see people with rugs in their kitchen, I know how much I should get emotionally attached to them. That's crazy. You're right though, you're right. Okay. We went through all the rooms. Now let's see. The fuck are my cats doing? They're so loud. Give me a second. I'll check on the cats real quick. They keep pissing each other off sometimes. Typical sibling stuff. Yeah, I realized that I had to pause it. But might already be too late. You had to break up a fight. Well, not a fight, but like I can tell that the smaller one, the younger one, is getting really, really agitated. And that's about the time where I have to separate them. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes the bigger one just doesn't know when to stop, you know? Because the smaller one doesn't want to play as roughly, but he doesn't realize that. And sometimes they just play a bit too roughly, and then the smaller one just gets really agitated. And then I have to separate them for like 5 minutes, and they're okay again. Mind if I use your horns to carve into nice instruments, but I need my horns. How else would people realize that I'm horny? I'm sorry. I can give you some wood, though, to carve if you want. Something feels off here. I'm not sure what it is, though. That reminds me, I saw a video where someone tried to hack the first one and was very surprised when he opened the game code and it was all in Finnish. Really? What the fuck is that? Where a kitchen? There. You don't need the horns for that? That's crazy. Fair, though. Fair. Ellie, you can give me your wood anytime. I'll keep that in mind, Dave. I'll keep that in mind. I should have eaten before stream. I'm getting really hungry. Come on, I want to see anomalies. Well, there are probably already 10,000, but... Do you have a snack? No. I'm gonna have to make something after stream. But I don't have any snacks at home anymore. Was that trash can always this trash can? It feels out of place. Just turn on the actual camera and eat so we can watch mukbang time? If you eat during stream, you must share with chat. You're right. I don't want to share, though. But you're a snack at home. That's crazy, Zarg. Crazy Riz right here. Okay, I'm coming over. Let's fucking go. Lucy, was ist los? She really wants attention right now. Foxy! That's crazy. No, you. Skill issue? Definitely. I have no skill. Thank you for the lark, Foxy. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier already, I'm gonna be on Foxy's stream tomorrow. And she's gonna play a horror game. And I'll just roast the shit out of her and talk crap. It's gonna be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. You have at least one snack at home yourself. Hey! Okay, I try one more time. I'm gonna fail this anyways. But at least I'm getting used to how stuff is supposed to look. Dark Souls 2 stream? Never. I don't think you want to see me crash out on stream. But I am gonna play Faith the Unholy Trinity again. And I'm gonna do the Good Christian Boy challenge, where I play through all 3 of them with good endings without dying once. And I kind of want to stream that because it might actually be really funny to watch me actually crash out. So I feel like you guys might enjoy that one. But if I do want to see you crash out, then tune into the Faith stream. We saw you crash out. Yeah, oh my god, I should play that as well, huh? I should finish that at least. I should finish Make Good Choices. Hallo, Lucy. Lucy, gang weg. Okay. Only time I've seen it? Yeah. That game made me angry. Actually, should we do one run of Make Good Choices after this, and then I call it? You slammed the table. I did. That doesn't happen very often. Crashing Out Ellie is S tier? I don't know about that one, Chief. Yeah, I can't see shit. Hello, Lucy. Ah. What? Ghost is being a priest in my chat. Wait. Wait a second. Is there a VOD for this? I'm curious now. There is. Somebody clipped it, actually. Hold on. Okay, I know what was wrong in the game room last time. Hold on. It's not on YouTube yet. I haven't gotten to that part yet.
What are you?
Ah! Hold on. I'll show you. I'll show you the clip of where I crash out, though. It should be.
Are you paying attention to the stream?
It should be this one. And I was just done with it afterwards. I am paying attention, I promise. I even paused, see? I was making tea and heard crashing out. If Ellie gets to crash out, I get to too. No. Only I have crashed out. Privileges. What's wrong with this picture? Wait, no, that's not living room. That's bedroom. There. But yeah, when I grind for that achievement eventually, you're gonna see me crash out a lot, probably. It's definitely gonna take more than one stream too, but you know. That's the one, right? Yeah. I have multiple people have clipped it. The red light, green light one is just the one that was viewed the most. What is he doing? Hello? Are you getting oh, my bad, Chief. My bad. I'll leave. Yeah, that was... Yeah, okay. See, guys, I told you. It's come. That's what you meant, Song? I see now. I understand now. Fucking gooners invading my game. Okay, that clip was perfect. I was... Floresta, you don't understand. I played that game for like, what was it, 2 hours at that point? And I kept fucking dying to the stupidest shit. And that moment just... Yeah. I needed to get my frustration out somehow. Look both ways before crossing the street, kids? Yeah, please do that. Don't be me. I was so angry. I still get angry over it. It was a good run too. It was smooth, you know? But then I had to jinx it. Was there somebody in the bed? Was there? No, I don't think anyone's in the bed. It's just like a bit messy. But yeah, there's nothing, I think. That Make Good Choices game? Yeah, kinda that one. I still haven't finished it. You know what? We give it a couple of tries after this, okay? That one pillow looked like an arm. I agree with you. I agree. It did look like a little bit of a person just there. I'm still in shock I beat it. Man, everyone, all of my friends are starting to beat it, but me. I'm so bad at it. The picture changed again. Oh, cool. Are you using an eyehopper for tracking our model? No, I just use a normal webcam. Also, hi, Pinksmith. Eyehopper having a great day. Hey, Lamau. Hey, Lamau. Nice. Nice. I like that one. I haven't seen that one yet. Have a great day as well, Pinksmith. Thank you for that. Just beat it. I'm gonna show you beating it in a second. I'm beating it right now on stream. Live. Hello. And she's watching me. Leisure room. I was wondering what the fuck eyehopper was and where that was gonna go. Yeah. Yeah. I should have asked the question, huh? What's eyehopper? Not sure that sign was saying serve the Lord or serve the load. Serve the load, guys. Serve the load. Ellie beating her... yeah, I'm just beating the game, guys. Not my meat. That's for off-stream activities. The fuck? Oh, no, never mind. On a platter or in a cup? On a cup that's on a platter. Wait, someone's outside! Oh my god! Do you guys see that? Someone's staring at me from outside! Is that Timothy? Wait, wasn't there a different painting in a bathroom? We can check, we can check. I barely noticed that. What the fuck? Don't mind me. Song, get the fuck away. I'm on the clock right now, Song. Must be Gunnar dude from before. He was a bit skinnier. Bathroom, bathroom. Wait, did we... Hold on. Wasn't there a different painting? Let's see. Let's see. It's not like we're winning this anyways. Where the fuck? Toilet. It's toilet, not bathroom. All to the left? Yeah, let's see. Let's see. No, I guess all is well here. Maybe it was wrong last time and we didn't see it last time. You can't just send me away after that night. What night? The one where we spent time at the cam wall? That night? I understand. But you can't just come back every day. I told you, it was a one-time thing. Surf the load. It kind of does look like surf the load, doesn't it? There! The chair... Okay, hold on. This chair is not supposed to be there. Right? Like this one. This one is not supposed to be here. Yeah. I'm gaming, guys. I'm gaming. Oh, my nose is runny. Sharp-eyed Ellie. That's me. That's what they call me. Do the texts of these change? That would be mean. Still dum-dum? That's crazy. What the hell, Ghost? You're right, though. You're right. I'm still a dumbass. I thought they called you horny, Ellie. No, no, no. That's my... Something feels off in here, but I don't want to mess it up yet. No, not yet. Not yet. These people must be rich. They have so many cool rooms. And so much fancy furniture. You know what I haven't paid attention to? Camera malfunctioned. Your face is fucked up. That ain't right. You looked like a normal person before. I haven't paid attention to camera malfunctions. Also, who lets their fucking candles lit when they're not at home? That is very unsafe. Blow them out before you go out. If the house has anomalies in them, it's bound to have decreased value. True. That is true. Would you guys buy a house where a lot of people have died in, but it's still it's affordable because of it? Would you guys do it? I would too. When you wait to take care of the cats, the camera image started being blurred. Oh, really? Ah. Because there's a lot of stuff. It still looks like someone's peeking in from here. It's so weird. I follow a VTuber who claims to see ghosts in her house. I mean, I believe it. I do believe in ghosts. I'm poor, so yes, yeah, I get that, Ghost. I get that. Same here. You believe, I believe in you. I believe in you, Ghost. Shut up, I know. Do we just guess? I don't know. Was the chandelier in the bedroom hanging that low? Let's see. We have one more guess. Buy? Definitely, but live in it? Nope. I mean, you could rent it out, I guess, right? Okay, that was wrong. Good try, though. Good. We actually got to almost 3 a.m. That was really good. Well, I'm just a chill ghost. No vengeful thoughts whatsoever. See, that's nice. Okay, you know what? You know what? Oh, I forgot to change category for this. Is it okay to tell you when we see something? Absolutely, absolutely. I usually tell my chat, like, give me, like, time for the first 2 or 3 tries to, like, get used to the thingy. Because sometimes people, you know, try to help me out when they already know the game inside and out. But that would just spoil the fun for me. But if it's also your first time and you want to guess with me, that's absolutely fine. That is absolutely okay. Hold on. Make good choices. I forgot to change the category for observation duty, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, you know what? We try make good choices for a little bit. I'm already dreading it. Let's see. Let me change stuff. Wow, I didn't know we were playing observation duty. I know, it's my fault. My bad, Chief. My bad. Alright, I had to play this in full screen because the other options were shit. Okay, game sound. Can I change it? Yes. Okay, we're gonna listen to Spotify for this one though. The fact that Serve the Lord wasn't distinguishable from Serve the Lord is hilarious. Yeah, I do like that. Oh god, that's loud. Hold on. Why is my Spotify not picking it up? Hold on. There we go. Gonna listen to anime openings again, guys.
Masturbation is a form of witchcraft.
All right. Okay. All right. We going? Good luck, soldier. Thank you. Okay, I can't go this way. Oh yeah, cream puffs would be so fucking good right now. Fuck! Fuck! No, 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 no. Let me go! Okay. You have creepy nuts on your playlist? Yeah. Hello? There we go. Okay, this game is reminding me of Stanley Parable for some reason. It kind of is, by fucking with you in all sorts of ways. Okay, I can go this way.
Sloppy. 15 months.
Silva! Hi, Silva. How are you? Thank you so much for the resub. Fuck. Okay. I think I'm okay. I'm awake like a good citizen this day. Please, hello. Okay. I did it. I did it. Fuck, how did that work? Do the bikes hit you? I forgot.
Then Ellie walked across the street and then crashed the fuck out.
Shut up, sorry. Not this time, not this time. Oh, the bike. Fuck! I was... Okay. Okay, hold on. Oh. Yeah. How do they work, I wonder? Spoke too soon. No, please keep believing in me. Please. Don't say that. Oh, I can't go this way. Just that particular timing was horrendous. You're right, you're right. No, I was... Fuck me, dude. Fuck me. Hi, Nixia. The light was against you. It was. It was. Everything in this fucking game is against me. How are you, Nixie? Oh, I can't go this way. You literally waited on the walk light and ran... Yeah, I don't... It pisses me off. This game pisses me off. Why am I playing this game? No! Please, just let me run away! Okay. I understand. I get it. I understand. There's enough run. Yeah, right. There's enough time to run from that stupid pipe. And yet, it still gets me every time. Bitches. Oh god, can I get through here? Okay, yeah, I can. I don't trust this. This is the run. I don't know, Chief. Don't say that. Don't. What? We were here. Don't do that already. I'm messing it up now. Oh god, I'm... Oh. No! Just get good? Fuck you. You get good yourself. Ellie, if you manage to beat this, I promise I will get it as well and stream it till... I guess. This is going too well. I'm gonna fuck it up. That battery explosion just reminded me that my mom bought a charge. What the fuck was that? Bought a chargeable, very nice looking LED lamp, I think from Temu. Then she told me that it was doing weird sounds when charging. Since it's from Temu, there's no warranty, so I opened it up and was morbidly surprised to find a liquid battery inside. What the fuck? Yeah, don't get any electronic stuff or anything like that from Temu, please, guys. Please don't do it. What the fuck? God damn it. Okay. Alright. I can do it. Fucking van. I'm not doing it. Shit. Wait a second. Can I? Inch past us? Yes. There's no... Wait. Let me see. I had a dream where there were Temu fanboys. What? And now we keep suggesting sex dolls? That's crazy. Insane. Ah, shit. What do I do here? Is this safe? I guess so. Liquid batteries aren't allowed in living quarters in a lot of countries, and for good reasons. Releasing gases while charging is one of them. Yeah, that is just crazy that they sold you that. Wait. Oh my god. Can I just... Nope. Oh, that was too close, my bad. That doesn't count. Was that lamp at least labeled correctly during shipping as a dangerous goods? I don't think they even labeled it properly, I gotta be real with you. The universe must have really hated this guy for real. They hate his guts. Oh, wait, I can't go. God, the fucking sun is so bright, though. No, please. I couldn't see. Okay. God, why am I so laggy? Please. Calm down. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I can do this. This is so easy. This is the easiest game ever. Nope. Easiest game of my life, guys. Skill issue? Fuck you, Nixia. I'll show you skill issue in a minute. Please, change. Places to be. Hate this. I hate this. Are you serious? Oh, nope. Wait, how the fuck? I agree with Nixian's skill issue. Fuck all of you. All of you. Oh my god, I never made it this far. What do I do? Help. What do I do? Oh my god. I never made it this far. Ain't no way, guys. Ain't no way! I'm gonna mess this up. Okay, I can't go.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
Thank you, I drink. In before gas leak, don't say that. Please don't say that. Oh god. Guys, where do I go? Away? Fuck you. Close enough to fuck you, Zorg. You ruined it. Not the satellite dish. Fuck this. One more try, and otherwise we'll just try this again next stream. It's fucking. Oh fuck, wrong way. It was so close. I know, it was so close. PP. God damn it. I'm so angry. No! Okay, you know what? This is a sign. This is a sign. Fuck me in the ass, dude. Stupid gas leak. I'm leaving. How many? 49 tries. You know what? Next time we try another 9 or whatever. There's the gas leak, for God's sake. Ah! What the fuck? Who's doing this? Let's go for 100. Oh, I will be at 100 eventually. Trust me. I will be. Alright, let's see. Holy shit, we've been live for 3 hours already? No wonder my throat is starting to hurt. I'ma set the world record for the most tries on this goddamn godforsaken game. Ah! Stop! Ah.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
Oh, I drink, thank you. Oh, I set the wrong category. Hold on. Oh my god, guys. Speaking of categories, actually, I have something to complain about. Have you guys seen the new pictures for some of the categories on Twitch? It pisses me off. It pisses me off so much. I hate it so much. Oh my god, hold on. New category art. That fucking AI crap, dude. I don't want to use the art tag anymore. Not tag, the art. Yeah, hold on. There it is. Art. It's so ugly. Everything they just made it so much worse, dude. So much worse. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? Hold on, I'll show the people who don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. Look at this absolute bullshit right here. Okay? Why would they... Yeah, exactly, casual. I actually banned that emote because it is AI, but I'll allow it just so the others can see it. Just like the stupid fucking cat emote they did for Christmas. This shit here is all AI and it pisses me off. Like, why would you use AI art for the fucking art category? Like, it pisses me off. I fucking hate capitalism. I hate it so much. Like, this seems like a 10,000% classic move on someone wanting to prove their existence in the company by changing random shit that didn't need to be touched. No, for real, like, the old categories were so fucking cute. And now we have this stupid, ugly, disgusting AI slop that nobody likes. Nobody likes that shit. They are literally just telling artists to just fuck off. Like, it's not like they wouldn't have like thousands of artists that would be happy to make them like a new category thingy for free. Just for the experience, just for the shout out, for the exposure. But instead, they just make this ugly ass fucking slop and shove it down our throats. I don't want to use the art category anymore when I do art streams because of this. I don't want this ugly ass shit on my fucking Twitch profile. What the fuck kind of food is that? I don't know, some... I don't even know, Yui. Yeah, of course it's cheaper, but like... Is it really worth it? Or like, as I said, like, there would be so many artists, Jasmine. There would be so many artists that would do it for free. You know? Just for the exposure, for the shout out. And like, it's Twitch, it's fucking Amazon owned Twitch, like, they have the money. Just take the fucking money they steal from their actual creators, you know? Hey, they saved 25 cents by doing it. Yeah, for real. It's so sad. Yeah. I keep thinking that the world is going the way of cyberpunk. Honestly, it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Using AI doesn't make you an artist. Yeah, I already feel dirty calling it AI art, quote unquote. It's AI slop. But you know. It just shows they don't care about their user base. Yeah, it's absolutely disgusting, Yumi, I agree. The food and drink is the worst one. Yeah, like, who wants to click on that and get an appetite for food and drink? when that ugly fucking thing is showing up. I'm pointing at it like you can see what I'm pointing at. But you know what I mean. At least give me the cool cyberware to fix my knees. For real, like, fix my knees. At least do something useful. Man, it pisses me off, dude. It reminds me of way back in the 90s where people used that crap clip art that was found in those cheap or free clip art discs people used before fast internet. Man, it's just so sad. AI may be cheaper at face value, but they overall wasted money still because they could have not changed anything with the categories and spent zero monies. Yeah, I mean, what was wrong with the older categories, you know? What was wrong with it? I should go on just chatting. Talking about Twitch, did you disable the sub thing where you pay for half of it, then people gift you sub? It's on by default in the subscription option. I think I disabled it. Yeah, I think. I'm gonna have to check again after stream though. I mean, for me personally, it wouldn't be that bad if I just pay, you know, if they just take money out of my Twitch payment. It's just so you guys wouldn't have to pay as much for them. I wouldn't mind taking the hit for that because, you know, it's also for you guys, so I wouldn't personally mind. But I think it's fucking dirty that it's on by default. That is just predatory. Oh, such a saint. Crookie, suck my cock. Love you though. No, but honestly, like, I wouldn't mind. Like, I already feel bad for you guys subbing to me anyways. Like, I don't want you guys to spend money on it, but, you know, it just makes it easier overall for all of the emotes and all that. And I do appreciate the support. I don't mind them taking my money, but it sucks that, you know, they fuck people over like that with predatory thingies. Also, Gracie, thank you so much. Thank you for the gifted subs again. Please pay attention to your money, though. Pay attention to your finances. Yeah, I was wondering why subs always had discounts on for most streamers when gifting, but there's some that didn't. Yeah, it's just that people weren't aware that that setting was on all of a sudden. Like, making an opt-in, not an opt-out, you know? Like, that is fucked up. Because there's a lot of streamers that depend on their Twitch money to survive. It's just fucked up that you would put that on by default, that you just lose money without you knowing that you're gonna lose money on it. My issue with the discount thing is, yeah, the fact it's on by default, and seems like Twitch didn't do enough to fully inform creators about it. We're all finding out by word of mouth. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm finding it out from Zach on fucking Twitter, you know what I mean? Like that one guy that always posts those news. That's the only way I know about. Like, at least give me an email or something informing me about the changes you're making. Like, I'm worried now about my own payouts. Yeah, exactly. Like, and there's so many people that depend on it, and you just fuck them over. Like, you fuck over the people that basically, you know, are the reason why your website even exists in the first place. No, give Ellie hand over first right now. No, damn it. But yeah, it's... don't worry, tomorrow I'll get a paycheck that's double the normal amount. That's crazy. But yeah, like, sorry for the sudden rant on this, but it just pisses me off. Oh fuck. The ads are... I didn't want to run the ads. I'm sorry. The ads are starting real quick. I didn't want to run them. I clicked on the button by accident. Well, I'm sorry, Ali. You aren't the... Don't get fucked. That's crazy. God damn it. Rant away. Yeah, I don't really like ranting too much on stream, but sometimes it just happens, you know. Oh my god, this song. Yeah, I love this song. It's so good. Oops, I closed my chat by accident. This song brings back memories, it really does. My god. Good memories too. Well, we all know that Twitch only cares about the streams they have handpicked to love and everyone gets banned. Basically, Crookie, basically. I mean, we notice it every day, don't we? God, it's so good. Also, did I miss the observation duty? Yeah, it was only for a couple of minutes. I'm sorry, Crookie. Next time more, though. Next time more. The guitar is so damn good. It is. It is. It's so good. Wait, I want to scroll up. Honestly, ranting... Oh, god damn it, please. Ranting on stream is fun as well. It's a different side of you we rarely see, so it's fun. Yeah, I guess you don't really see me crashing out a lot. I don't want to make it a habit, though. But I have just so many things I'm angry about these days. So many things I'm pissed about. Oh, god. Mood? Yeah. Did you close Larkbait? No, is it not working? Hold on. Let me restart it for you. It's still open. I like ranting on stream. Ellie, join me. We can be co-ranters. We should. Honestly, Crookie, I miss just hanging out with you on stream and just talking about random shit while we pretend to pay attention to the game on screen. I do miss doing that. We should get back to doing that.
Masturbation is a
Maybe it's just
form
not.
of
Maybe it's
witchcraft.
not. Maybe it's not. But honestly, the Twitch API is a bit broken anyways, so sometimes it just dies. Hi, Manga Lion. Hello, hello. Let me do a test. We should. We just need a time. Yeah, I know. I know. It's hard to do stuff these days. Wait, what did Floresta say? I worked a lot of events here in cities. This was played on the event radio and at karaoke. Oh, that is so cool. I feel like though I'm not wanting to do it too much on stream. I have so much pent up that I end up venting on stream too, and I end up feeling guilty because it's like the antithesis of the vibe I'm trying to have. Yeah. Oh god, I'm dying. Yeah, I really don't want to make a habit out of it. But there's just so many things that piss me off. And they just keep piling on more and more things that piss me off. And at some point, I'm just gonna explode. I swear, I'm just gonna explode at some point. Had to test the redeem for reasons. Oh, I'm sorry. It was covered mostly. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make this a bit smaller. Actually, I'm turning this off. I don't want to look at it. There we go. Let me get up all in your face. Right, Rand, let's just all get together and go riot on the streets, setting everything on fire, dancing around naked as it burns. Honestly, I would be down for that. I have to keep reconnecting the fishing game through the Larkbait settings. That's so annoying. Wait, let me check. Okay, it's working now. Maybe the bot is just not working. Rant stream would be a good idea. I mean, if anything, I would not plan a rant stream at all. If anything, it would just happen by itself, you know? Where's my Emperor Kermit? Oh, he's everywhere. But like, it's funny, because when I'm here with you, I'm like, yes, pop off, Queen, you tell him. What is that? What is that meme? Oh my god, wait. That slay your enemies type of... You know which one I'm talking about? It's a really funny TikTok meme. Oh, how did it go? I forgot. But I hope... Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure how it goes fully, but I love that meme. That's what I'm thinking about every time I watch one of my friends' rants. In my opinion, most of us agree about the AI, so fire away on this topic. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to AI shit and like generative AI, anyways, you're just gonna see me talk shit, anyways. It's all good. Have had pets instead. Thank you, Manga Lion. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. I mean, you guys can be naked. I'll just be in my Space Marine armor. That works too. Yes, Kana, you got it. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. Do you hear the people singing the song of angry VTubers? Hell yeah. But I mean, rants just kind of happen. My last thingy, we were on anime awards. Then ended up on my ranting about the Demon Slayers. Okay, yeah, I was there for that, actually. Yeah, it makes no sense. I agree with you. I went to Reddit a few days ago. I used to lurk there a lot, but stopped when I got into VTubers. Now it's almost on all AI-generated this everybody's using for memes. Creativity is dead on that platform. Yeah. Yeah. Reddit is going down a dark path. Senpai, hi! How are you? I gotta go get it. Oh yeah, of course, Yumi. Please rest up. Please rest up. And thank you so much for the stream again today. It was really it was really fun to watch you. Go rest up, you deserve it. He's just breathing. Then why did the fog appear in the map? Ah, Crookie, I love you. I love your rants. So is Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is already down in the dumps anyways. Love you too, Yumi. Okay, you know what? Oh. Let me switch over to my other model real quick because I wanted to see. I tweaked the tracking a little bit, so I couldn't even couldn't even test it today because I had to switch over. Oh, I made Nibby super big. There we go. Okay, we'll just keep this on for the rest of the stream now. We don't acknowledge Twitter? Yeah, we don't anymore. It's such a shame what happened to that website. Sorry. Also, Twitter even grabs their users' art style and uses it for AI generation. Yeah, don't they have like that stupid ass bot now called Grog? Grog? Greg? Gregnan? I don't fucking know. But people use it to generate AI art now. Did you just turn off? Yeah, I did. Gork, yeah. Under every fucking post, I see that fucking thing now where they tag the fucking chat bot. But yeah, I turned off the friend cuddles. Rock is actually kind of funny in specific moments. Oh, that's like the bad part too. Like sometimes he is hilarious, but then I remember what people do with it, and then I immediately just get annoyed again. But yeah, I turned off the friend redeems today because I need to fix stuff about it and it bothers me. I just didn't turn it off fast enough, so some people have their friends here. Rock is such a stupid fucking name too. Yeah. It's like the name of a dumb troll or an orc in a D&D campaign. I know Kermit is cold-blooded, but wouldn't the butt friction melt that butter? It would, it would. I have so many bots on Twitter DMing me trying to sell me AI art. Yeah, the bots are bad. I just ignore them. You got to Twitter or... I'm back, I think. Am I back? I should be back. The AI sniped me, guys. It sniped me. It's too powerful. We back. Hello. I won't let them win, guys. I won't let the AI win. Aren't we all? You're so right, Manga Lion. Ali was going to tell the truth and was censored. Exactly. Can't believe it. That's it. Need to get 2 internets. Yeah, kind of, actually. We see your front, we do not see your back. You're right, you're right. You can't see my back. Quick, you must tell the truth. What is the truth? There's a lot of truth I could spit. I'm not doing it, though. I don't want my stream to die again. AI hit my fact about Grog's name. Let me see. Why did they name it that? It's a word from a science fiction book about Archangel Gabriel founding a sex cult. What? That is insane. Oh god, okay. Interesting. Stranger in a strange land. You are so right. Alright, guys. I've already gone over my... I wanted to end stream like an hour ago, actually, but now we're already 3.5 hours here. I should actually end it here and, like, you know, get some food and stuff. It's already almost 9 PM. I should definitely go take care of myself. With Muskrat, I knew it had to be some weird... Yeah, honestly, you're so right. He's ruining everything. Anyways, enough ranting for today. Enough ranting. Yeah, I live in Austria. The better Germany. But yeah, it's almost 9 PM for me. I'm really hungry, so I should go make food and stuff. Ellie has to lay low after that incident. Yeah, I gotta lay low now, guys. I gotta lay low. But as I said earlier, tomorrow I will be a guest on Foxy's stream to talk a bit of shit. I'll post on Discord when I go live on there. On her stream, not on mine. Austria the better Germany? Can't deny it. Yeah, you cannot deny it. It's true. It's true. Nobody can tell me otherwise. But yeah, I wanna stream on Saturday again if I can. Honestly, maybe I'll even stream tomorrow for a little bit if I have time during the day. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow on here for a little bit before I go to Foxy. But yeah, let me see who I can send you guys to. Let me see. I actually want to send you guys to someone we haven't really raided in a while. Oh, is Roxy still... Oh, Jesus Christ, how long has Roxy been streaming? Yeah, absolutely. We're going over to Roxy. I never get to raid her any... Well, hopefully I get to raid her again now that she's done with her partner push. But yeah, we're going over to Roxy. Give her some love. She deserves it. She's really lovely. She's currently playing a Sly Raccoon, whatever that is. Looks chill though, so I hope you guys have some fun. Yeah. Actually, Roxy recently achieved partner, like 2 weeks ago. She definitely succeeded. She was grinding the fuck out of it. And she finally got it, and now she can finally relax a little bit. So yeah, I want to send her some love. Congratulate her on achieving partner if you want. You can make up a raid message if you want. Piss, yeah, okay, go for piss raid. Use the piss raid. Thank you, Floresta. Thank you for being here for so long. Yeah, piss raid, whatever. Or make something else up. We don't have a set raid message here. And I will see you guys very soon. Maybe tomorrow and hopefully on Saturday. So yeah, I'll pack you guys up. And thank you so much again for the new follows, the gifted subbies, the bits, everything. Thank you. And the resubs as well, of course. Okay, I will see you guys.
Drink water.
Where's my scene? Professional streamer here, guys. Okay, bye.